Hello and welcome. My name is Ajaxpost and you join me here once again, as you can probably tell, in Transport Fever 2, and we're overlooking the station, the mixed purpose, the multi-function cargo and passenger station here in the lovely city of Georgetown, which we spent a lot of time thinking about in the previous episode, if you're with me then, because the mayor of Georgetown, a certain G. George, has mandated via citizen referendum, honest gov, it was entirely democratic, that only steam trains will be allowed into this city. And we've got a quite long... yeah, I hadn't realised that before. Oops. I'd spent so long in the last episode, if you were with us, making sure that this train was long enough to fit within the freight station at Manila, where it's loading up from. I hadn't checked that it could actually fit in Georgetown. That's oops, isn't it? Yeah. So we're going to need another 2 lengths of platform there, I think, aren't we? I need to turn the AI on. So I hadn't expected to get into this straight. In fact, I hadn't realised this was going to be an issue at all. But let's configure you. If we go to platforms, you're along here somewhere. There you go. And cargo platforms. Okay, passenger platform. I can't fit them in anyway. But okay, if I can't put... Oh, because I've got railings around the outside. Yes, to protect innocent pedestrians from trespassing. We might get away with 1 extra length. So how long is that train? That train is 200. Oh, 200, yes. Which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times... Oh, no, it's not. 1, that is 4, isn't it? Counting the signs. Go away. It's easier to do it without that. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So that's only 160, so it needs to be a little bit longer. Oops. Okay, let's do that. I don't think we have an issue with our passenger train. You're coming in, and you are 145. Yeah, the passenger train is fine. Just this new lengthier freight train. Okay, let's deal with that straight away. Anyway, but before we do that, what we're going to do in today's episode, I heard back from G. George, following on from the changes we made in the last episode, where the freight for Georgetown is still coming from our main hub in Ajaxpost, the Epic MMX, our multimodal exchange, and is being taken out from there by one of our diesel trains. We're using electric for passengers, we're using diesel for our modern freight services. Now, Georgetown, as we mentioned just a moment ago, doesn't allow modern technology on the trains going into the city. So it has to be steam only, neither electric nor diesel. So we've got a crossover point, an exchange point here in Manila, where the electric trains... Oh, there's one coming in here. Yeah, the electric trains come in from Ajaxpost to Manila, drop off the cargo there, and then a steam train, is that one of them? Yes, it is. Takes the goods from there all the way out here to Georgetown. So we did that last time, and then I heard from G. George saying, well, actually, we've had another conversation in the city chambers, and what they would like to do is establish a bit of a border. I'm a suspicion that this whole island is going to secede from the Ajaxpost Island hub. Yeah, politics, it gets in the way, doesn't it? So what he would like to see is some kind of security border here on the far side of this bridge connecting the island of Georgetown to the main sort of island hub here. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to put in a little bit of sort of aesthetic decoration to establish some sort of security marker here. So this main, yeah, I'm going to need to fiddle with this a little bit. We'll see what we can do for there. The other thing that G. George also requested was that there should be a single traditional passenger route from the station into the centre of the residential area by horse carriage. Now, unfortunately, we don't have horse carriages available to us anymore. No, we've only got these diesels. We've not got electrics or anything. Actually, I don't know about trams. There's an interesting thought. Might look at that in a second. Although some of the Russian mods, however you say that, is what I'm going to call it. On these models, they are described as horse-powered. So they are relatively cheap, and they don't put out as much emissions as the diesel do. So we might use those. But actually we're going to have electrical diesel trams, aren't we? And I'm going to have to put down a depot. Okay, let me just bear with me for a moment while we do something to test what we can do. So we want a depot, want a tram depot. I'm just going to dump it here. I've got enough money. I've got over 1.5 billion in the bank, so I can afford to mess around a little bit. We've got electric, and electric trams. That's all we've got, I'm afraid. So it's going to have to be the ordinary buses for that. No, so what G. George requested for the citizens of Georgetown was a single horse-drawn passenger route going directly from the train station to the centre of the residential area. Unfortunately, I haven't shown this off in recent episodes, but oddly enough, and this is quite odd, the residential centre is actually clustered around the station, which is where all the emissions obviously are highest. If you look up here, you can see the emissions at mouse cursor, 73. And the dark buildings are the buildings that are affected, the residential buildings, the buildings that are affected by emissions. Apparently, commercial and residential buildings really don't care how smoky it is in the air outside, just residential. But we do have, so having a passenger route going from here to the centre of the residential area doesn't really make that much sense. Although if we take that away, click on the station, yeah, the coverage of the station goes all the way out here. So what I'm thinking I might do is attempt to encourage the growth of another residential zone out here. So we might see if we can put in another simple little route there. I don't know. What I need to do first off is fix this station. I'm surprised actually that train can turn around. What's that route look like? Oh, it comes in on the single track, so it doesn't have to... That junction there isn't actually a real switch as such. That's how it gets away with it. Right, let's deal with that. Let's demolish this road. And we're going to have to demolish this fencing as well. This takes a little bit longer. Oh, actually this is one of the simple fencing mods. Because some of them, the posts and the actual fence are separate entities. Oh, no, don't delete the station. Delete the fence. Okay, I think I've got rid of all the fencing along the track there, so we should be able to put down an extension to the platform. So we'll configure this. Oh, it looks like I can, which is good. So we'll put you down there. We're going to have to make this station track as well. Okay, we'll get rid of you, we could leave you in there actually. Yeah, we'll leave you in there. So we'll just put some standard high speed, no catenary in there. Can I add high speed track? I can to there. Excellent. Alright, so that's done that. Can we put that track back? Will it Looks a little bit naff, doesn't it? Okay. Let's take it back a bit further. It's a better speed, but I still don't like the way that looks. Okay. Can we make it look a little bit better? The answer is going to be no, basically, isn't it? Well, that's a little better, I think. Actually, it doesn't need a crossover there. The crossover was from here, wasn't it? And you're not going to let me do that now. So if I take that track out there, can we do it from here? Ooh, looks like we're gonna be okay. Good. Alright, so Manila Georgetown, that's the passenger route. You're going in like that. And don't have the destruction button enabled when you're clicking on stations. So that line. Right, we just need to double slip that. And you're doing that fine as well. Excellent. We did have some signals down here. Have they all gone? I think they've all gone, haven't they? So we'll just put those back in. And that's going to be you, I think, isn't it? The one I always use. So you can be... You're not one way. That's fine. Go there. And... there. Okay. So this train here, I'm not seeing any. I didn't actually check that. I don't know if you noticed it. I didn't actually check if there was a loading penalty or not. But I mean, it actually looks a little bit longer than that platform is. But it seems okay. Okay, let's just tidy this up a little bit. Right, so I wasn't really planning to do that, but I've done it now, so that should be okay. And there's plenty of room now for that train to get in and out of the station. So what we were asked to do by the mayor of Georgetown was to put in some sort of border control here to make sure that trains coming in are actually steam trains. Yeah, and they're all properly identified and authorised to go across the bridge and into the island. Now, while I was watching some videos by Stephen Spry, if you're not familiar with him, Stephen Spry, just look for that in YouTube. I'm sure you'll find him. He's doing a wonderful, slightly more detailed series. He's done several, to be honest. Yeah, go watch his videos if you enjoy the more thoroughgoing realism of a detailer who sort of has a plan in mind, which is more than I do quite often. Yeah, so I was watching one of his videos, well, several of his videos to be fair, and he was using a particular station mod, which I thought, now that's cool, and it occurred to me I could use that for this. Now it's from a German creator, as quite a few mods are, and the creator hasn't given it an English description. And I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it, so I'm going to put a description on the video here. There's going to be a little annotation box, so you can go and find this mod yourself. But what it does, in the terms of what we're using it for, is it allows me to create a station without platforms. So we're going to do that here. We're going to create a little sort of stopping point here. We could have the trains just powering straight on through, but I thought it'd be good if we could enhance that by having them stop somewhere along here, so they could be, so their papers could be checked. Papers please, if you will. Right, so that's gone out the way. Now this station, it's a building, and it's a, well, you've got a choice. You can do it as a passenger station, you can do cargo, or you can do it as a depot. Oh, it's the railway zigzag, whatever that is in German. Yeah. So what I want is both both passengers and cargo to stop at this security check. So we're going to need both types of stations. What I'm thinking is trains coming out of Georgetown can go straight on past. So we're going to create 2 little stations here using this funky new mod. Also, it's in my collection on Steam, which will be linked in the description below, so if you want to go and find it there, if you can't find it from simply searching. So we're going to have to get rid of some of this track. Now the issue I've got here is this is a fairly tight curve, so we may have to fiddle with this a little bit to get our length of station in. So let's, what I want is, okay, trains coming out. I didn't need to delete that track, did I? No. So you can come down. Actually, no, I will leave that. So we'll leave that as straight and flat. Good. Now, can I put one of these stations alongside, like... Ooh, you can make them very short. Okay, so we're the Prel block. Oh, that's the bumper, isn't it? So that can be standard, a bulk. Ooh, right. This doesn't want to be. I've got the depot selected. I don't want the depot. I want the cargo station. That's the one I want. I really, really want. Yes. We don't want any catenary, so it's just high-speed tracks. No catenary. So no to that. And we can put in multiple tracks. So that's a track gap. We can select the number of tracks here. There you go. So 2 tracks, and you can set the gap. Track radii. Yeah, and if it's a station, you can use this. I mean, it's most often, I think, useful in a freight environment, which is where Stephen uses it, to create a sort of freight yard where you don't have to put an actual big, one of those hulking great big platforms that we just saw. You don't have to put one of those alongside it, but it can actually take capacity. It does take capacity itself, and you can increase that if you need to make it really big for some reason. Street connection allowed. We don't need that here, so I'm going to say no to that. Anyway, I just want one. This is a cargo station. Length of 20. That might be alright, actually. Now, what I'm thinking is, because I've got a building in mind, I've got a couple of buildings in mind, I'm going to need a gap, I think, between that track, okay, between that track and the sort of stopping tracks where the station will be, the train will be inspected. So if we do that, okay, so I've got a gap here is what I'm looking for. Right, do that down there. Still showing us flat, which is good. Alright, and you can go down there. And can we put on then? Now these tracks will need to merge back onto the bridge. So this station will be round here somewhere. So if I turn that round, like so. Aha! Right. If I put that, let's put the ordinary track in first. So, buildings, cargo station, there you go. You are just 20 metres. Do I want it to be any longer than that? 40. So where's... Ooh, yeah, you're curving around there. Let's make it 40. Okay, and then we want a passenger one to go in there. Excellent. Good. This track, this third track here is kind of redundant. Yeah, that's just there. Yeah, so I can connect the other lines to it. Right, I'm going to need to get rid of some of this as well. And some of these signals. Now, how can we draw this track? How well will this... I probably do want that in there still, just so I can keep this bit straight. Okay, and then you can go back. What are you like going around there? You are slowing down a lot. Can we make you a little bit speedier? It'd be nice to be above 60 at least. And still, no. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get much more out of this, to be honest. What on earth are you doing there, mate? Don't do that. Click. That's it. Aha! Right, that's better. We are distorting the landscape, but that's... well, that's the way things work. That's the way the cookie crumbles. So we'll do that. Okay, and then you... I'm still having an issue finding the sweet spot, aren't I? Get a bit closer, might make it easier. That's better. Okay, now where do you want to go? If you actually connect to that track there... okay. And right, the passenger one is on the inside. That's good, actually. Yes, because the passenger trains are shorter. You can connect there. And the cargo trains, which are longer, will have that there. Will that be long enough for the train? We're going to have to wait and find out, I think, aren't we? So this bit of track here is officially redundant. We don't need that. These stations are... oh, what should we call them? We'll call them approach. Ooh. And we'll call the cargo one cargo control. I like to have them as different names if they're sort of a mixed station, as this kind of is, so I can make sure that my trains go to the right one. We'll put some ballast in. Is that ballast? It is ballast. Let's put you in on here. I'll go through afterwards and just check that there are no flowers and shrubs growing along the track elsewhere. Okay, so we've got our two stations here, and our trains will stop at these. So this is the delivery of freight. So after Manila, so it goes so after Manila, isn't it? You will stop at that one there. Good. We're not going to do anything there in terms of holding you up or anything, I suppose. We could put them down for a minimum weight, couldn't we? Ooh, how short can the minimum stop time be? 10 seconds? No, I'll let them go straight through, to be honest. I might add a delay. As we go into it, if I see how well this works. You're a passenger train. Good. So Manila to Georgetown passenger route. So after Manila, we'll add the approach. Ooh, what's its problem there? Train 81, no path. Don't be silly. Of course you can. Okay, go. You've got no off. Okay, go back then. Not quite sure why it's complaining. Let's go back to that train. I mean, the other train came in and went out, didn't it? No, but yeah, it's just one of the things with the game, isn't it? Sometimes if you're changing a route, so if you're changing a route while there's trains in the station, it does some odd things to it. Okay, we're going to want a horn alert on here as well. This is part of the requirements. This is a waypoint. We can either use the standard vanilla game one, or I've got this Japanese signal here. And I could put you there after you've come out of border check. Yeah, we can put you there, I think. That's one signal for both trains. And we want some assets added to this. That's towns. So assets. Now, where were these? I picked up a whole set of station side buildings and all sorts of other yard buildings and so on, including these washer and hangar buildings from Russia, which look quite awesome with lots and lots of options, and also including this. Now, this is a sort of service building. Ah, right, now you do sit there quite nicely, actually, which is why I wanted that gap between the tracks. So the building was sitting there like that. And if I put you... Now you're kind of filling it up, so you will need to be... So this train is going to stop. I don't know where the station track is. So, okay, we'll put you there. We've also got... Ooh, these are depot facilities, sand stations. Ooh, you could be... No, we don't really want... Do we want... No, we don't want sand. Got a jack. Yeah, we're not going to be lifting the trains up anywhere, are we? No. But there was another building I thought looked really good for this scenario here, and I'm going to have fun finding it again, aren't I? Oh, yeah, so again, some more Russian station assets. This is the water tower, which is kind of what is going on here, I suppose. We could use this for some other reason. We could pretend it's something else. Actually, I'll put you there. That looks good. Water towers, all sorts of rail lubricators. Yeah, all sorts of funky stuff to help decorate your stations and your yards. Right, so where was that building that I was so... it's not you. You're a depot. I think it was you. Ah, that's you. Actually, there was this one as well, which is the kind of station house for crossings. So it doesn't really work here because we don't have a road crossing. Okay, well, this is a building I was looking to use, which I think looks really good. And I want to sit you. Ah, you're too big to go in that gap. Oh, you are just too big to go in that gap, aren't you? Just about. Bother. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, well, we'll put you on this side of the track then. That's what we'll do. So you can be... Ooh. Along there. If I use shift... No. Does that work? Oh, that does kind of work. That works, I think. Yeah, so we can have the guys up there above the track, and they can spot trains coming in and make sure that everything stops. And yeah, I might to use the technical phrase, I might tart that up a little bit and add some more decor to this. Well, that looks cool, I think. All we need is for a train to come back and use it, and they've all just left. So I don't know if we got... No, you're a passenger. Ah, no, you're another one. Oh, you'll be coming down here, won't you? No, you won't. You'll be coming from... Ah, there you go. So we'll be waiting for you to hit that station. We could do with something... Actually, yeah, what we want is signals. So I need some signals along here, actually. So, yes, so these could be one-way signals. Now we're going to put a signal in there. And we could put signals in here and here. Yeah. And we could have a signal in there. Oh, it will let me put a signal there. That's cool. And one there. Okay. I'll just let this roll on for a little bit. Won't take long. It'll only be a few minutes. Oh, this could do with smoothing, couldn't it? And once the train gets here, we will just see it in operation. So there's a train coming out of Georgetown, so that one's fine. Actually, could do with a whistle signal there as well, couldn't we? I think to say you've crossed over the border into the mainland. Yeah, let's do that. And no, we don't need any more signals there, do we? Not really. Well, I'm going to put one in because I can. There you go. So here's our train approaching our new security point before crossing over the bridge into Georgetown. A couple of things I want to check here, that this length of track here is long enough for it to get in and clear that switch. And the fact that it stops. I've added a new British signal building into the into the site here. He's stopped and exactly the right position, more or less. Exactly right, sort of. Oh, I didn't hear him blow his horn. Because he doesn't do it before he approaches. That's right, he does it after that. Excellent. So that looks like it works. Have we got a passenger train coming up soon? We have. Right, we'll just watch him. Again, I just want to check that the length of this platform, sorry, this curve, I mean the platform is very short. I just want to check that the length of this curve is enough to get past this this switch here. So that another cargo train can come in, and they can sit if they come in at roughly the same time, they can sit alongside each other, sort of. So here he is coming in. And he should divert to the third track. That's it. Good. And because these trains at the moment aren't that long, yet definitely clears that switch. And sits perfectly positioned by the station house there and all the whatever that is, the maintenance and checking equipment that we have here. Sets off, and not every modded train has a horn sound or whistle sound. This one does. Good. Just wondering if I want to put it before. Oh, and there's another one. Oh, excellent. You're coming in there. Ah, do we need more signals here? No, I think we're okay. I think. Yeah. Awesome. Do we want to do that other? Well, let's put one in and see what it does. What I'll do, though, I think, is put in a little bit of a road loop here as well. So I want you to be proper city street. I want you to be moderately fast for this time of year, or this time of the century. That will do, I think. And do we have any other routes coming along here? No, so I could have it stop just alongside that route, which would be good, I think, because that would mean passengers can cross over to the other bus route if they need to go somewhere else in the city after getting off the train station. Yeah, we could do that. That all makes perfect sense. Honest gov, it does. And we will put in one of these. What's that? Oh, that's just a very simple sign, isn't it? Put it on this side, then we can see. No, actually, we want a bus stop. We want to give our passengers some degree of comfort, I think. So we'll put you there. Will you get the same name? Will you get Kamersgursky Lane as the name of this stop? Yes. Yes, you have. Okay, right. Do we have another bus stop here? Where's the train station? There's the train station. Ah, so there's the bus stop there. We could put it up there closer, couldn't we? Yeah, we could. That might be good. So we will have a bus stop on this side of the road, so it goes in the other. Ooh. Actually, let's put it on that side of the road. Let's draw ourselves a route. It'll be a new line, and it's not going to be a line colour we can't see. It's going to be a nice bold green from there to there, and it is indeed going in the opposite direction, which is exactly what I wanted, and it's not conflicting with any other lines in the town. That's super. Right, so this will be called Residential Line 1 because we are full of imagination. Oh, I don't. Yeah, 9th Street. That one's Station Road, isn't it? We'll leave it as 9th Street. We'll leave it as 9th Street. But we do want a bus on there. And what we're going to put on there, I'm thinking, I had a look at this a bit earlier, and I think this is our best option. It goes faster than we need. It's faster than the roads we've got, but the cost isn't that great. It's less than 30 grand. We've got these old Fuzos, but they emit such huge numbers for emission. Likewise the Ziz. Yeah, well, we'll do this. It's a modern bus, but it's horse powered. Honest. Do we need just one? We'll put 1, 2 on there. Okay, and can I colour you buses in that? Ooh, I can. That's excellent. And you'll put you on residential. Oh, I should name that actually, shouldn't I? More accurately. Yeah. So you're Georgetown. We'll call you Georgetown Residential 1. So it sort of fits in there. Excellent. So that's all the changes requested by the Mayor of Georgetown. It's very bright and green because they're eco-friendly. Now these will degrade over time, so we may need, if we want to keep them operating, we may need to increase the maintenance on them. But that very much depends on how profitable they are. We shall see. Oh, this is excellent. So we've got a passenger train being checked, or has just been checked. We've got a cargo train coming in and going out. This is wonderfully busy. Is that train? Yeah, full of stuff for Georgetown. Now, I have got other stuff I wanted to do in this episode to do with other stations, but I think for this episode, so it doesn't get way too long, we're going to stay with Georgetown for the moment. And one thing I noticed was, although there is a modest amount of cargo coming out of Georgetown for the rest of our map, it's not a lot. We're getting food from the food factory here, but not a huge amount. And that's because this food factory isn't producing a huge amount of food because it's not getting enough grain coming in to match its capacity. And we are getting grain, we're getting 200 from the local farm here, and we're getting little bits and bobs from other farms from way, 1958, great year. Getting bits and bobs from other cities. But I think if I want to grow this capacity here, grow this food production, we need another farm here on Georgetown Island. So that's what we're going to do. Just going to click through these new Oh, a new China. Oh, 68. That's a good speed. Some Japanese wagons by the look of it. Various liveries. Good, good, good. One new Chinese loco. Is that it? Actually, they might have been electric locos or something that came up actually earlier. Yeah, could well be. Multiple units, perhaps. That looked like multiple units. Right, we will see those in use later. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to put a new farm here, I think, and boost the production here so we can get more food sent out from Georgetown to other parts of the map. Now, can we do this by simply adding another farm here? We did this in Rangpur, I think, didn't we? Yeah, we added 2 farms together. That's what we'll do. Make it nice and simple, I think. So we'll add another farm in here. The boxcars don't carry grain. You great plonker, honestly. Thank goodness I don't do these things live on Twitch or something, because the amount of screaming in the comments that I would be getting would be outrageous. Honestly. It's because that looks like a boxcar. That's my rationale, honestly. Boxcars, yeah, don't carry... the man's a blithering idiot. Okay, so what we want is a gondola. Thank you. Okay, I've lost $8.5 grand in depreciation already. Gosh. Right. Let's do that. And that grain capacity should start picking up, I think. Yeah, you're now going full pelt. This farm is also growing its capacity. Right, that's excellent. So actually what I'll do is I'll finish this episode here, I think, having completed this fabulous looking border control station. And these guys in Georgetown better not secede properly, otherwise they'll be... I'll be having words with them. So, well, it's a pity it's empty now, isn't it? Oh, there's a train coming up. Shall we follow you? We'll follow you in. And I will say thank you so much for joining me today for this episode of Transport Fever 2, the Island Hub series. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, it'll be great to hear from you. A little bit of a like would be lovely. Just click on the old thumbsy uppy button. Even better, if you've got anything to say about what I'm doing with the game or the game itself, then please do just drop a note into the comments box below. That would be awesome. Other than that, of course, you can always subscribe, and that way you'll know when I upload another one of these or any of my other Let's Play series. But from me, Ajaxpost, here in Transport Fever 2, until the next time, bye bye for now.